So they made Breakout with anime. Well, this is Puchi Carat, so yes, they did. Puchi Carat on the Puchi Carat on the PlayStation 2. This is a part of the Taito Legends 2 disc. I recorded this video with DVD commentary about 7 or 8 years ago. I'm getting some HD footage in there. It's from a component video connection out of my PlayStation 2. So we'll get some HD content regarding this game, which is better than most of the games in this collection. Because while most of the games in this collection are old, not all of them are classics. This is one of the more interesting ones, I suppose. It's Breakout with anime characters. There's a versus mode in here too, which is kind of interesting. But let's reset the game so we can watch this demo from the beginning because the concept is extremely simple. It's what if Breakout didn't have like an instant fail state every time the ball just hit the bottom of the screen. Just imagine if every time it touches the bottom of the screen, pieces begin to fall from the top. So you're clearing out pieces not because they're just there. You're clearing them out because they're constantly dropping, or when your ball hits the bottom of the play field, it causes the pieces to drop more quickly. So that seems to be the case here. And with the versus mode they got going on here, you're basically doing sort of a competitive puzzle game, like Super Puzzle Fighter 2 Turbo. Bust a Move had a competitive puzzle element, as I recall. There were a bunch of competitive puzzle games. I want to say a lot of them were licensed games over in Japan back in the mid to late 90s. In other words, Street Fighter 2 was incredibly popular, so I guess people figured out that they can make puzzle games that were competitive too. I don't know if Bust a Move started, because obviously Tetris had competitive puzzle play. But in arcade, you started seeing games like Bust a Move 2, I believe, had that competitive element too, and that probably didn't hurt. But I am curious what games kind of popped off the competitive puzzle gaming scene in the arcades. Give it all you got and go for it. So let's see if we can. There we go. How to play. We know how to play this game. So we got to break all these with the ball. There's the square button is to launch the ball. All the other buttons are for accelerating your paddle on the bottom of the screen there. So when you miss the ball and it hits the bottom, it advances the screen by a line. So there's supposed to be two modes of play here. The regular single player mode and the competitive mode. Will sample one of each. Player versus computer or player single player mode, which is how we're going to practice. We'll start, 200 lines. Start from the beginning, I guess. 50 lines. I didn't mean to choose Garnet, but we'll go with him anyway. I don't think it matters who we choose. Let's see. I don't think it matters who we choose. So usual breakout strategy is see if we can break a piece on top that will dissolve and cause all the pieces below it to just plummet. Remember, you can press any button except for the square button to advance, to accelerate this paddle more quickly. Do you like this? So it moves more quickly. This is how quickly it moves normally. Not great. And as usual, we got to get the angle right so you can drop as many pieces as you can in one go. I don't know if the ball gets any faster every time you knock it back, but let's see what's up. I don't know what that shiny piece is. Whoops! That was bad. Let it slip past me. There you go. That destroyed all the pieces. 10K. So we need to clear out 50 lines on the left-hand side of the screen on the top. 15 out of the 50 lines we need to clear to make it to the next stage. Whoops. That was not good. Sometimes it's worth it to just take out the piece that's on the bottom. Stay alive. That crap. That could have gotten dicey. Good. That's a good drop. That's a good one. There you go. Perfect. Like I said, it helps it to get the one of the pieces on top to clear all the pieces below it. That was not what I wanted. Again, it's kind of hard to aim this, but eventually you learn the angles. I wonder how this would work as like a student game. Like if you're a young game developer, you wanted to see if you can make a Breakout clone. Just a matter of figuring out the angles. Basic geometry, right? Whoops, that was bad. That's bad. That's bad. That's great. That's a nice comeback. Don't know what the shiny pieces are all about. They just worth more points? That could have gone very poorly. Does the paddle shrink when you get to the harder levels? I wonder if that's what's going on. I can already see the problem that this game would have with some arcade owners. Is that it takes too long to kill the player. So they aren't making as much money. I do like some of the animations they do here. Which is the one kind of presentational flourish you could add to a game like this, I would argue. This feels like a PS1 game, if I'm being honest. Like the soundtrack sounds like a Red Book soundtrack. Whoops. Not good. That's bad. Yeah, that's bad. I was 5 short. Well, I was 5 short of the goal. So if I continue, what happens? So I still have to get 50 lines. Okay, so we'll just restart. Okay, so we'll switch to somebody else. I don't think it matters who we choose. Just pick your favorite anime character, I guess. Guess who everyone's favorite probably is. Hint. It's not, spoiler alert, it's probably one of the female characters, we're being honest. So let's see. We'll do player versus player next. Let's try the hard mode. We'll go middle mode. Whoops, wrong guy again. Whatever. It won't make a difference. It really won't make a difference. Launch with square, and as usual, just press any of the other buttons to speed the paddle along. I don't know if there are any power-ups here, so that's not going to help very much. What else could you say about a game like this? Whoops. I mean, now that I think of it, the only other game like this I've actually played. I mean, I think I played Breakout in the 2600 a while ago. Not on this channel, obviously. And I did play Arkanoid 2, a bootleg version of Arkanoid 2 on DOS, way back in the 90s. And even had a construction set, too, which I thought was cool. Then again, you have to ask yourself, what could you possibly do in a game like that? 43 seconds. Kind of amazing, really. So we'll try the player versus player, then go hard mode, see what's up. So yeah, this is a game I could probably play for like 20 minutes and just never touch it again. But I mean, it's inoffensive. It's just not, single player mode isn't really that challenging. Player versus computer. We'll try beginners. See how poorly we do. Oh, you can see on the bottom left-hand corner of the screen the junk pieces that get dropped when you do some kind of match. So that's cool. Peridot, Pearl and Dural, Rald. Aqua, the totally useful water goddess. So I guess the pieces leave the sides of the playfield open. So we'll see if we can drop any of our junk pieces. I'll play with the joystick. It's a little bit faster. Well, I guess I could play with the D-pad. Let's just try the joystick. Never mind. I'm switching back to the D-pad. I just want to see if I get a bit more momentum. I want to see if I can get a bit more precision with the D-pad. So again, what do I have to do to get the super pieces to drop? But you don't want to do that sharp angle bounce back every time because your piece is kind of slow, unfortunately. So maybe speed might require you to choose a 90-degree angle or an 80-degree angle instead of one of these 20-degree angles. Which might work in single player mode. Okay, I can't afford to just keep hitting dead air. I gotta hit one of these gems. Okay, gotta use a little bit of strategy here. Whoops, let it drop. So I think I have to clear the lines to get them to drop on the other side then. Yeah, that seems to be how it works. Not looking good for our boy. Totally useful water goddess wins again. No darkness in this game, in case you're wondering. What's the name of the chick with the short chick with the red hat, the wizard's cap? I never remember her name. She got her own spin-off series apparently, which I have not seen. I don't know if Konosuba's gonna hold up. All I know is that I like the first 3 episodes. I skipped the pilot, so I watched the first couple of episodes and I skipped the pilot, and I'm glad I did. I got it because when I finally got around to watching the pilot, it was really slow how they were trying to set everything up. But I remember watching like episodes 2 through 4 and saying, okay, I kind of like the Daffy Duck versus Bugs Bunny chemistry they got going on here. I won because I call it anti-chemistry because it's an ensemble of characters who don't like each other, and I kind of dug that. I kind of dug that vibe. It's sort of an anti-harem. It's kind of naughty as you would expect, but not as naughty as you might be led to believe. But then again, it probably gets worse later on. We'll see how it goes. But it's the kind of show that could be subvertive. Like, it's the kind of show that might work if it's subversive, but if it's not, then it's just going to seem like, it's either going to be too harem-y or too misogynistic. So we'll see how that goes. I withhold judgment, but I remember liking what I liked of the 2 of the first 4 episodes. So there's something to be said for that. I am kind of curious how long that show holds up, because it could jump the shark easily, depending on where they go with it. And we're done. So that's the kind of game this is. It's a Breakout with anime. What do you want? There's competitive Breakout, though, which is always nice. Thank you for playing. So you got my quarters. So I have to put in more quarters to keep playing, huh? I guess you could always go for a harder difficulty level. Yes, music is not particularly impressive, unfortunately. 238. Holla at your boy. I win the caravan. Yeah, so that's not good. That's not cool. Guess you might want to play a harder difficulty level. This game is suitable for our ages, huh? Especially if you're 99 when you're playing DOA. Anyway. We'll try player again. So I guess we'll do the hard mode. I want to do a real run. I don't want to do all these aborted runs where I'm getting sloppy and just dying quickly. Schist. Ruko. Opa. Sapphire. Peridot. B. Looks like Ryo-Oki from... Yeah, B kind of looks like Ryo-Oki from Tenchi Muyo, but we'll just move on. It'll do. This feels like a licensed game that never got released in North America, or maybe it was supposed to be a licensed game and they decided, you know what, we're not even gonna bother. We're not even close to doing well. Boy, I really screwed that one up. Holy crap, dude! How did I screw this up so quickly? So the hardest difficulty level, we start 5 lines down, huh? This ball's a little bit faster too, so there you go. See if we can get a sharper angle. There we go. That's how you do it. Ah, crap! That can't be good. I'm pretty sure the lines drop more quickly in this mode too. That crap! There's an argument to be made if it's really bad, you should let the ball go past you so that you can clear out the bottom row more quickly. I would not say that's the optimal way to play this game. So yeah, it's Breakout with anime. What do you want? This feels like a filler game. Like it seems fine, it just doesn't seem to be that stellar. You want me to do 200 lines, huh? I did Pearl and Durl in the previous video. I kind of like the idea of having these two sisters, one of whom is like stupid shy. She hides behind her other sister, assuming that they're sisters. But that's the vibe I get. They're twins, and one of them's really shy, so she hides behind the other one, which I think is kind of adorable. Again, it's probably the kind of character, it's probably the kind of vibe you don't expect from a game like this. But it's a very simple conceit, obviously. Whoops. It's a very simple conceit, obviously. So 3 lines for the middle mode, 5 lines for the expert mode to start. There we go. That's how you do it. And she gets a little bit more confident when when you succeed. So again, that part it's kind of a nice vibe, but there's not much to this game, despite the anime. Like I said, this totally feels like a PS1 game, that a PS1 valued disc that costs like $20 or something. Well, I hosed myself really quickly. So I got 43 lines on beginner mode. I was 5 short of the goal. And now here I barely go through 15 lines. That sucks. I don't know why I'm getting so flustered. This isn't that complicated a game. I do think the color palette's is a bit kind of over pastelized, if that makes sense. Like the color scheme feels a bit too heavy in the pastel side. You know what I mean? Like if the colors feel kind of washed out. So I think they should probably use a different color palette to make the color stand out a bit more. That's me being kind of picky about that. The game looks fine. Though it just looks just kind of washed out. I just think it's weird. Whoops. I also pressed the wrong button. I pressed the wrong button to let it go past me. I got 4 lines. Wow, I'm really flustered. Must be the anime. I'm kind of shocked that instead of making a visual novel, maybe you can make a game. Maybe make a visual novel like this, like that. They made a Konosuba game that got released recently, but it was apparently just a visual novel. Kind of like, what is it, Disgaea Infinite? Is that what I think it's what they were doing? That Disgaea Infinite game on the PSP, which was apparently just a visual novel. But the argument then becomes, I mean, there are lots of these visual novel games in Japan, obviously. But these games, they tend to be like traditional RPGs with like interminable story sequences and like only like a few turn-based elements, you know? I'm trying to think of an example. Like I remember playing God, I can barely remember the title anymore. Because I mean, I played Code Realize on this channel a while ago. That was basically, I think it was just a visual novel. But there was a Mamako. I don't even remember the name of that game. I can barely remember the name. I'm pretty sure I sold it. But there were like 1 hour cutscenes, and then there's like a turn-based Final Fantasy Tactics like combat. But it's like you might get like 3 hours of gameplay and then 2 hours of you might get like 3 hours of story and like 2 hours of gameplay. It was wild. Wow, that's a nice rescue. Nice save. Yeah, I got myself into trouble really early. Again. That's kind of distracting. Don't do that. Tossing the ball in my face is kind of distracting. I got enough balls in my face, thanks. No jokes, please. I saw Clueless. I already heard it. It was dated 30 years ago. Darn it. I'm probably not going to get above 50, am I? I don't know why I'm having so much trouble. We'll do competitive one more time, obviously, before we end the video. Like, I know I can get better at this game. It's just that I don't think the skill ceiling's that high. You know what I mean? Like, I could just play Alleyway on the Game Boy. I think I can buy it for like $2. But why would I play Alleyway? Of course, that was always the conceit with the Game Boy when it first came out. It's like, yeah, just make a bunch of like low effort, easy sell games for people on the go, for Japanese commuters on the go. Though, of course, Americans were willing to buy them too. But none of those games were Tetris. Though, honestly, I'd rather play Quarth than Tetris now that I think about it. Like, every time I play Tetris, it's like, yeah, 15 minutes. 15 minutes later, I'm like, yeah, I'm good. But I was willing to play Quarth for like half an hour. I think that's fine. Like, I don't feel, I don't feel any burning incentive to defend Tetris. I'm like, if you like Tetris, great. I just rather play. I can think of at least 1,000 games I'd rather play than Tetris. Even at the time Tetris came out, I was like, man, this is okay. I feel about Tetris the way most normies feel about video games generally. I'm just like, whatever. It's cool. It's cool, I suppose. I'll just play Skyrim, thanks. Although I would play Tetris Attack, Peneldopone, Titleist. I need to pull out Titleist. I bought that game like a decade ago. I need to play it again. It's Steam Deck. It's gotta be Steam Deck friendly. In fact, those Steam Decks are on sale. The used Steam Decks are on sale now at GameStop. For I think like a 64 meg. You can get like a 64 gigabyte Steam Deck for like what? $300, I think. Which is enough to play Skyrim, but I mean, like, what's the biggest game you could probably play comfortably on a Steam Deck? Well, apparently you can play Cyberpunk on a Steam Deck if you really push it, but that's asking a lot, honestly. The most demanding game for a Steam Deck would be something like Doom 2016. I'm not sure that would really run. I'll double check. I want to say, I mean, you can play Crysis on a Steam Deck. Well, Crysis Remastered will run on a Steam Deck, yes. The original Crysis, apparently not. But yeah, at least when it first came out. But that was the joke, is that, yeah, the Steam Deck is an impressive portable machine, but can it run Crysis? Well, the Switch can run Crysis. It just runs it at 30 frames a second, and it's the remastered version. But yeah, I mean, yeah, the Switch can run Crysis. It just has to be a remastered one that's optimized for modern GPUs and, relatively powerful mobile chipsets, I suppose. I mean, I would say Crysis runs better on the Switch than Doom does, right? Doom 2016. But Doom 2016 was never supposed to run on the Switch. I mean, remember, Crysis came out in 2008, so if you update the code so that it's reasonably optimized for like lower powered hardware, then sure, you can run Crysis on a Switch, which is what happened. I want to say it's better optimized than Doom 2016 is, but Doom was never supposed to run on the Switch. I think was it Feral Interactive they hired? I think it was somebody. I think it was another studio. I think Feral Interactive worked on either Zombie Army, but I think that was Rebellion. I want to say Feral Interactive did Alien Isolation, which was a next-gen game that ran very poorly on the PS3. Then they did a Switch version, and it looked way better than the PS3 version. So they really did a good job of optimizing it for the Switch, making it look good on that hardware instead of just taking a PS4 game, just uglifying it so it would run on a Switch. Okay, I'm not doing very well here. But yeah, what would be the most demanding Switch game? Well, not this. But what would be the most demanding? Of course, people are probably running emulators on Switch on Steam Decks anyway. What would I run on? Well, like Dragon's Dogma should run on a Steam Deck. But Dragon's Dogma, I think, barely runs on like quad-core laptops. It'll probably still run. I tend to believe games like Monster Hunter Rise would run extremely well on there because Monster Hunter Rise runs on a Switch. So the PC version probably runs reasonably well. Yeah, but if you're talking about like demanding games on a Steam Deck, running at 30 frames a second, that's like Shadow of the Tomb Raider. Yeah, it's like Shadow of the Tomb Raider level stuff. Wolfenstein 2, the New Colossus, the Doom, stuff like that. What was the other one? What was the other game I was thinking of? Um, I mean, certainly Shadow of the Tomb Raider, because I mean they have a demo for that. So if you got a Steam Deck, you can download this. You can download Shadow of the Tomb Raider right away and see how demanding it is. Wolfenstein 2, the New Colossus has that demo. I want to say the Doom demo is still there. But the Wolfenstein demos are pretty demanding. So if your Steam Deck can run that, you might be okay for a bunch of. You might be okay for some PS4 games, obviously. I think they were able to get Death Stranding running on the Steam Deck too, which is great. But that was actually an optimized PC port, so it ran better than Horizon Zero Dawn did on PC when it first came out. I don't know if they ever fixed that. I'll double check, see what Digital Foundry said. I'm playing on the medium difficulty level and I won that one. First of all, why does girlfriend have a chain? Is she wearing a choker? No, she's wearing a leash. All ages content. Anyway, she's wearing a leash because she's a pet bunny rabbit, I guess. Like what's her name from Final Fantasy 12, who I think is in Final Fantasy 14. I'll check with a couple of I think one of my friends is like, "Hey, did you see the bunny girl?" I'm like, "Yeah, she's Ariute. She's definitely one of those anthropomorphic bunnies from Final Fantasy 12." Great soundtrack for the Ariute village, by the way. Sakamoto Hitoshi bias. Hashtag Sakamoto Hitoshi bias. Or is it Hitoshi Sakamoto bias? Yeah. Anyway, I do still have Zodiac Age, I think, on the Xbox One. I'll double check. I might have already sold it. Because I bought the I bought the Switch cart. It probably fell out of my bag, so I probably lost it forever. It was a $12 cartridge, so I'm not terribly worried about it. Apparently, what is it? The Switch port only runs at 30 frames a second, but I mean it's Final Fantasy 12. Like it's not a huge deal. Well, yeah, I lost that one. Yeah, I lost that one. Yeah, well, I should be able to beat her though. Discount Tinkerbell maid. Discount anime Tinkerbell maid. Uh-oh. He's gonna drop a big one on me. Darn it! Yeah, that was bad. That was bad. Holy crap, dude. Let's try again. So we got what? Jessica Rabbit and discount anime Tinkerbell fairy. Discount anime Tinkerbell maid. Ah, crap. So I think we're still tied. What's the maid pouring out, by the way, on the other screen? I wasn't paying attention. And I probably even should. I probably shouldn't be paying attention. I'm hitting the wrong button. I'm hitting the wrong button, so I'm host. I hit the wrong button, so we'll try one more time and we'll end it. I guess we can try the hardest difficulty level. I'm not opposed to that. So we'll end this video pretty soon. Yeah, this game's fine. It's just I give it like a solid C plus. It's more entertaining than a mid game, but it's not much more than that. Unfortunately, it is what it is. I mean, it's Breakout, so I mean, it is what it is. So we're in the C plus territory here, but it's probably better than most of the games in this collection, if I'm being honest. Shist, shist. Careful how you say that. Don't want to get demonetized. But what was that? Yeah, it's an anime called Shy, right? It's a My Hero Academia built around a shy female superhero, which I haven't seen yet. I need to get around to watching that. It seemed kind of interesting, but I'm kind of curious how it plays out. I mean, they're unapologetically they're unapologetically, costume superheroes in that anime. So it's not like a lot of anime where they're just like regular people with they're regular people with magic powers. They're just superheroes. Whoops. So unapologetically, My Hero Academia. That's a nice save. I'm probably not going to survive. Whoops. Couldn't see. The anime got in the way. I couldn't see. Wow, I almost killed him. Yeah, I almost killed him. How did I not? I got 17K though. I almost killed him. I don't know how. If I had stayed alive for like 2 more seconds, I might have won. It's the hardest difficulty. So I think the falling pieces are kind of distracting, which was not an issue in the original Breakout. They just disappeared. So that might be a whole thing. We'll try one more time. This is kind of brutal. This is kind of brutal. I thought I might have been able to win, but this might just be too brutal. Would I get a Steam Deck? I think if you're in the 200, if I had a bunch of store credit, they were in the $200 range. Did I win? No, I did. If they were in the $200 range, I could probably do it. But the $300 range is way too high for a portable console right now. I mean, the fact that I already got a Switch like 2 years ago says as much as I need to say about my willingness to buy another console right now. Wow, I won quickly. Destroyed. Decimated. So, yeah, it's like, yeah, 8-second win. Wow. These matches, you can win or lose in 10 seconds. It's like trying to play Dragon's Lair. You can win or lose in like 10 seconds. That ain't cool. I would not want to play a quarter on a 10-second playing session. That would suck. But they do have beginner mode, but it's like a tutorial. It's like 2 minutes later, the game ends. Whoops. Yeah, that was bad. So we'll eat up all of our credits here. Does Sister Girl on the right have a Pikachu on her head? It's technically a not Pikachu. Yeah, it's technically a not Pikachu. Her name is not Opa. She's got freckles. I guess we'll call her Anime Peppermint Patty. With the Pikachu on her head. Okay, the pieces are glowing for some reason. I don't know why. I hit the wrong button. You remember, you gotta hit the one. You can't hit the square button if you want to go faster. What? Wow, that was a save. Holy crap. What a save. Yeah, we're all very excited, anime lady. Yeah, holla at your boy. Look at your boy go. We're going for the perfect. Yeah, turned it around. 2 million points. 2 million points for your boy. Wow, talk about a turnaround, son. I don't know how I did it. I really don't know how I did it. I'm on a roll. I'm the greatest Puchi Carat player of all time. Holla at your boy. I'm the Daigo of Puchi Carat. Doing that Ken Perry Chun Li comeback. How we doing? Uh, yeah, T'Challa Bogard, the Daigo of Puchi Carat. Turned it around. Well, not so much this. Yeah, not so much this time. Discount Anime Tinkerbell made got us this time. We'll go one more. I'm feeling my oats now. I'm feeling my Quaker oats, like Wilford Brimley. It's not looking good for Anime Tinkerbell. She might have turned it around. Let's see if we can finish her off. Feels weird to play Breakout and say finish him, like it's a Mortal Kombat game. Oh, she's going down. We got her. She's going down. It's going down for real. Puchi Carat. How many episodes we got? Do I have to go all 12? We got to do round robin? Is that what we're doing? Okay, didn't I see you in generic? Didn't I see you in like Nino Kuni? Only you were a brunette in that anime. You were in, yeah, you were, yeah, you were a brunette in that one. Generic Ghibli hero. Oh, he's going down. He's going down. We got him. Anime Chester. What's the guy's name from Beverly Hills Teens? Chester, whatever the inventor's name was. You know, Bianca Dupree's simp. Chester Mick. I don't remember his name. He would probably be played by Scott Melville if there were a reboot of that. Yeah, this music is not particularly stunning. Someone hire 12 Sound to remake the soundtrack. It would sound amazing. It's not looking good for us. We need a few of these sharp. We need a few of these sharp ones. Yeah, the only safe way to really return these balls is to do sharp angles, like not sharp angles, like the 20-degree angles, the shallow angles, the super acute angles. I would argue. Yeah, try to get those. Whoops, I let one pass. You can see on the bottom left-hand corner of the screen. I think there's some indicator of how many junk pieces are going to drop. Again, none of this is explained because the game doesn't come with a useful manual or a useful tutorial that explains all the mechanics. Let me check on something before we end the video. Additional info, normal stone, hit with ball, hard stone, blocking stone. Haven't had to deal with that. Shining stone. You hit the stone, all stones of the shading color. Okay, eliminate all stone. I've already established that. Drop the stone, send them over to your opponent's battlefield. The character you choose determine the type of stone you can send. Which I guess in this case, on the bottom right-hand corner of the screen, it shows where the pieces eventually fall. So every stone I drop shows up on the other screen. The problem is that I've said this before. The falling stones are a distraction because it makes it hard to see the ball behind all the noise of the falling stone. So again, in Breakout, the pieces just disappear. But in this game, they fall and become a visual distraction when you're trying to follow the ball. So I'm not wild about that. That's a very simple. That if I were an amateur game designer making my own version of this game, I would probably change that. I would also add power ups. I would try to I would try to make the play field larger. Make this. I know this is a thing. Some people feel this way about having tight play fields. I don't like having play fields that give you very few options. It's like having it's like doing Formula One racing on streets. There just aren't enough options. I like having, like in a game like F-Zero, there's usually places to you're searching for the proper lines. Or there being like one narrow corridor. There's really nowhere to dodge. I like having some room to move, but some people really prefer like the brutality of a really narrow play field. I'm just never really a fan of that. Like Street Fighter 2's play field is like what 3 screens wide. That usually gives you enough space for you to do what you need to do, but really tight play fields for me aren't really my thing. They're too claustrophobic, and not in an intro. They're usually claustrophobic in a way that's more brutal than fun. It's more punishing than fun. So I never really liked that. Now, if you're doing like a puzzle mode, okay, that might be fine. See if I can get one of those shiny. Whoops! I'm supposed to get one of those shiny pieces. Well, I'm really screwing up. Yeah, I'm supposed to get one of those shiny pieces. Because I think if I destroy one of the shiny pieces, then yeah, we're going down in like 10 seconds, maybe 8. Like this game is brutal. If you don't do a proper launch, you're probably screwed from the beginning. So I got to keep my hand on the accelerator button so I can speed up if I need to. But again, I think the falling pieces are a distraction because it makes it harder to keep up with the ball. Though I do like the trail of the ball. It makes it a little bit easier to see when it's in motion. But the falling bricks are still a problem. But that's how you get the pieces. That's how you get the junk pieces to fall over there. Is that you have to You have to chop off the top of the screen. Like you have to chop off a gem from the top of the screen so that all the pieces below that one drop off. You're basically cutting it off at the branch. You're cutting off the branch at the stem, basically. So that's why you drop most of the pieces, which is why you want to use these sharp angles. At least these acute angles, in my case. Whoops! But that drop was bad. I have to stay on the, I literally have to stay on the ball. Nope. I can get past them. I'm not scared. Like I said, these 10 seconds. It's like a splatformer. You got 10 seconds to make up your mind, dog. Make it happen. And again, I'm using the D-pad because I want a bit more precision. It helps that it's a shallow play field. Wonder if did this game use like a paddle control, like with a doorknob, or did it have like was it a joystick game? I tend to believe it could be either, of course. But arcade cabinets might commit to like, the analog control, with the paddle control. I dropped some pieces over there. There you go. So you saw me drop stuff. You saw me drop those pieces from the top. So once I knocked off that piece from the top, all the other stones below it fell to the other side. That's what you got to do to win. Because they're gonna do it to you eventually. So you better be ruthless. You better cut them off at the top of the screen. We got about 20 minutes. We're probably not gonna play this game for more than 20 minutes. This is the hardest difficulty, by the way. So this is the deepest playing session I've ever had of this game. I'm pretty sure I was doing like, research videos. Yeah, I was doing research videos when I was playing this game 10 years ago. But no, I do like that. It looks like he's smoking a cigar. So, White Ryo-Oki won that one. White cigar smoking Ryo-Oki won that one. Yeah, that might be a good one. That's a good one. Yeah, that's a great one. Yeah, that was a great one. I think I hosed him with those extra pieces I dropped. Whoops! That one passed. Yeah. He recovered from all the junk pieces I dropped, so that wasn't cool. Yeah, for the smoking a cigar. A carrot-shaped cigar. Whoops. I'm already off to a roaring start. Wow, how quickly did I screw that up? Holy crap. That was 5 seconds, maybe. So how many quarters have I pumped into this machine, do you think? You can see the number of credits in the bottom right-hand corner of the screen there. Oh, the pieces always appear in a random pattern when you start the match, it looks like. That was not good. Yeah, that was not good. Yeah, I tried to cut off the right side, and I did a bad angle on that. I can't imagine playing this in an arcade. Like I said, it feels like it definitely was an arcade game. Remember, I'm choosing the wrong piece. Yeah. I had a chance. I think I was able to drop some junk pieces on there. I swear I could probably take him. I'm going to fail 10 times and then get one good run and kill him in 10 seconds. And I wonder what took so long. Wow, that was close. Ah, crap. Yeah, I let the ball go through. That killed me. So I got to be quick with it. I think I need to look at the pattern that's showing up and then launch instead of just trying to launch it right away. Yeah, right there. So that gets rid of 4 pieces right off the bat. Well, I let it right past me right off the bat. Off to a terrible start. Like I think the real problem is that when the pieces get towards the bottom is that the ball is very hard to track when the pieces get really close to the bottom. So even if you manage to successfully drop any pieces, you have that problem. There's a shiny piece I might be able to break. Okay, I thought I killed one of those shiny blue pieces. What happened? The shiny cyan pieces. I won. See, I stayed alive. So in that case, I just kind of stayed alive long enough. But you saw the patterns get randomized every time I start a match. That was a 17-second win. So these matches won't last long. You'll die in 10 seconds, or you'll die. You either die in 10 seconds or become the hero in 15, I guess. I think if you can last for 20 seconds, you'll probably win. That's what I tend to believe. We'll find out. So there's our girl, Jessica Rabbit. Perry Dot. Whoops. Okay, no, that was not looking good. I thought I might have been able to salvage that. I think she dropped too many junk pieces on me. Not good. Can I get the reds up top? Yeah, I dropped a couple of them. That might work. Yeah, dropped a few more. Darn it, I let it pass. Okay, but I was pretty... The pieces weren't that close to the bottom, so I'm still doing reasonably well. Here, we're good. That looks good. That's a good sharp angle. We got it. We got her. We got her. Yep. Eat it. You choke on that bunny lady with the leash. Okay, we got a totally useful water goddess. Hence the umbrella. Someone get me the aqua meme with her tongue hanging out. It will seem to be appropriate if we can make it happen here. Not looking good so far though. I didn't get many good angles. I didn't get many good returns. Yeah, she's just chilling. Barely had any pieces to destroy. I just blew it. I didn't get many good angles on that one. Aqua's gonna make it rain. Blocks. Whoops. Let that one pass me on the first. Two of them got past me. Three got past me. You can't survive that. Wasn't looking good for Aqua there, but I just got off to a terrible start right off the bat. Just wasn't feeling it. It's funny how this game gets decided in like 15 seconds. That's kind of brutal. Which makes it a terrible arcade game or probably a perfectly reasonable home game for competitive play. And you could easily play this with your friends. But this feels like a Mario Party mini game if we're being brutally honest. So maybe a game like this isn't really suited for being a standalone game. Guess Aqua got a case of the vapors. This is Opa, I think. Opa. This feels like a familiar trope. I can't name what character this reminds me of. But whatever. All these characters are generic enough that they probably remind you of some other mid-90s anime character. Because remember, this game came out in 97. Wow. That was shockingly easy. Yeah. Discount Anime Colossus is going down. Oh well. Dr. Stone. And I forgot what her name was. Sapphire, yeah. Not Queen Beryl from Sailor Moon, but Sapphire. That's her scepter, I guess. We don't stand this queen, though. Breaking out the guillotine. Darn it! Well, that wasn't going to work. And those bangs around her eyes, like the bangs above her eyes into her sides, they look familiar. She kind of looks like it kind of makes her look like a gladiator helmet. Like what's her name from Street Fighter 6? Like she has the Magneto gladiator helmet. Forgot her name. The really buff one. But yeah, she kind of had her hair in like the gladiator helmet style, which I thought was kind of a cute design. Sapphire here kind of has that going on in a different way. Like it shapes her face and makes it look like the what do you call that? You know that Louisiana symbol that they use in Saints Row, the French one. But it makes it look like a crest. I think it's kind of a nice touch. Yes, yeah, it makes the hairstyle shapes her face. It makes it look like a crest, which makes sense for royalty, I think. So it's a nice touch. I still think the character design is kind of mid, but it's fine for what it is. Like I said, very 1980s budget, very 1990s budget PS1 game. Wow. Wasn't looking good for the princess. Wasn't looking good for Sapphire, but I couldn't survive long enough. Died in 10 seconds. Which seems to be normal for this versus mode, actually. So I'm actually able to do a bit of actual research while playing this game. Try to do some game design. Wow, how did I survive that? I survived for 3 extra seconds, though. I don't know what to tell you. Well, we got 20 minutes. We're probably gonna end this video pretty soon. No one needs to see an hour of this. No one needs to see an hour of Puchi Carat. Come on. I would not be shocked if they tried to turn this into an anime, if for no other reason, just to get the characters in a merchandisable form. Ah. What would you call it, like this sort of character-driven, competitive puzzle action game? I don't know what you would call them. All I know is that Street Fighter 2 Turbo, Puzzle Fighter 2 Turbo was a thing on the PS1, definitely. I mean, it's on my PS Classic. I'll pull out the PS Classic someday. On a related note, I pulled out Ace Combat 2 recently on this PlayStation 2. It plays it at 240p. But I think the game is constantly changing the resolution, but I think it's 240p during the actual combat. But it's 480i, I think, during the menu screen, something like that. So I'll test that out a bit later, because there are some emulation bits that I want to check. Because I did videos of, wow, I knocked off a bunch of pieces right off the bat. I think I put her in trouble already, and she rescued herself. So I sent over a few more junk pieces. Let's see if we can keep this going for 10 more seconds. We'll keep the rally going if we can. Because I managed to almost put her on ice. So if I can just stay alive, well, she's spitting out too many. She spat out too many junk pieces, so I wasn't able to recover. I would argue there's an argument to be made that you should let the ball go past you, so that more pieces drop, and then you can cut them off from the top row or from the upper rows to send them to your opponent. So there's an argument to be made that you should let the ball go past you on some occasions, depending on how quickly you want to be able to counterattack. So there's an argument to be made that you should let the ball go past you just to get a few more pieces in play. Are we getting like mirrors of the same patterns? Like I get a pattern, she gets a mirror of that, or like an inversion of that pattern? Or are we just getting the same patterns? We just have to play it more optimally. That's what it looks like. Yeah, it looks like we're both getting the same pattern. She's just playing them more optimally because she's dropping the pieces more quickly. She's dropping the jump more quickly. That was like 5 seconds, dog. Yeah, I don't think any of our matches have lasted longer than 30 seconds. I mean, you can check the footage. It's brutal. Okay, I think we got her on the ropes. Yeah, we got her on the ropes. We got her on the ropes. We got her. So I got a couple of good cutoffs to the top of the screen. 50K for that one. 11 seconds. It's like I said, you might lose 11 times, but then win in 11 seconds. It's that kind of game. Again, playing with quarters would be terrible. That's way too cutthroat. That's way too cutthroat for an arcade game. 10-second playing sessions is just way too brutal. But yeah, you could play single player if you want. I'm just saying. Well, we got too many. We got too many junk pieces dropped on us. We're gonna end this video pretty soon. Too much junk dropped on us. So is this Bizarro, what's Bizarro Gallery from Slayers. The design does look kind of familiar. Actually, it might be like James from Team Rocket and Pokemon. Professor James. Oh, whoa! Did that ball go through all those pieces? Yeah, did that ball go through all those pieces? Oh well. James won that one though. Okay, we got shiny pieces now. How we doing this? So when do the other? So if I destroyed these shiny pieces, then the accompanying pieces blow up. Oh yeah, the unshiny pieces of the same color blow up. I think that's how it works. Wow, that was a save. He's on the rows, but I think I dropped too many rows. Yeah, he saved himself. But we're good now. Look at that. We're good now. Oh, he saved himself again. Because I had a good run going. I think we got him. We might have him if I can drop those 2 blocks over there on the left. We got him. We got him. We're close to getting him. Ah, crap. That's bad. Okay, we got him. Wow. I was worried that ball was gonna drop past me again, and I was gonna eat it. Well, 176K. Did I win? Guess I won. I won the anime breakout game. Woo! My wish is not for a sequel. Just gets the win. Shice. Batorako? Was that the guy we just beat? Well, what do you know? We beat Puchi Carat on the hardest difficulty level. Woo! I'd give it a B. I'd give it a C plus. We'll give it a C plus. I don't know what to tell you. So how many quarters do we feed it? Zuntata? Zuntata is in the game design for this? Well, someone had to do the music. Yoko Kaneko. Don't recognize the names. Yeah, this music is kind of trash. Yeah, this music is trash. I'm not saying it's the worst Zuntata soundtrack I've heard so far, but it's pretty bad. It's thoroughly unremarkable. Special thanks to Tabby. Nyan. Peacock. No, I'm thinking of Studio Parrot, right? Studio Piero. Pierrot. P-I-E Pirot. P-I-E-R-R-O-T. Thank you for player. You're welcome for player. Yeah, really mediocre Zuntata soundtrack by Yak. Really mediocre Zuntata soundtrack on this one. So Yak got the music credit for this one. For Team Zuntata. It's no Daddy Mo. How do you play this game? Well, I think we know how to play this game, so we're good. Okay, so I recorded this audio with my Plantronics USB-A headset. Plugged into my quad-core Celeron Windows 10 education laptop at 60 frames a second, recording with a camera app. But there is a feature I want to show you. Since we're already ranking these games anyway, in a way, I gave this game probably a C+. It's another mid game. Okay, it's better than Growl. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to set up a favorites list. But what I'll do is I'll try to see if I can set up each game in proper order. Because I don't think we can move the. I don't know if we can move them around. But I'll see what we can do. Register to favorite. Okay, so if we're doing ranking of Taito Legends games. So what do we got? Press the X button. So from bottom to top, or is it from top to bottom? So we got Kicks in here. Legend of Kage goes ahead of that. I would put that ahead of that. Okay, so we can move it around. Okay, that's good. So we can move them around. So we got Kicks near the bottom, but it's not terrible. Some of these are actually just god awful. We'll get around to those later. I'll put Legend of Kage above Puchi Carat. Puchi Carat's not bad though. What else we got? Elevator Action is not as good as Puchi Carat. Elevator Action 2 is kind of mid. So we'll put, although I did like Kicks, actually I might put Kicks at a Puchi Carat. Yeah, we'll put that. Okay, so we'll put Kicks out of Elevator Action, which seems fair, I think. So we'll put Kicks out of Elevator Action for now. We might change that later, but I tend to believe we won't. And below Elevator Action 2, we got some real stinkers. Like we got your... Is Dungeon Magic worse? I think Arabian Magic is better than Dungeon Magic, but not much. Dungeon Magic's actually just bad. Like, it's just bad. And Sector X is below that. Yeah, we'll put Sector X below that. Growl isn't much better than either of these. Growl is more functional than Dungeon Magic, unless it's more optimized than Dungeon Magic. But it's still a bad game. Like, it's even worse than Dungeon Magic. Arabian Magic is a functional brawler, but it's actually kind of mid at best. Liquid Kids, we played on another platform. I would say that's better than either of these. I still got Legend of Kage way up there. Camel Tree might be better than. I'll say Camel Tree is better than Camel Try. I'll say that's better than Legend of Kage. Still a solid C plus though. Kage is good for what it is, but there's not much to it. It's like 4 stages long, which was good for the era. Let's not kid ourselves, okay? Bust a Move Again might be okay. Cleopatra Fortune might be okay. Sylvalian better be good. But yeah, Sector X is trash. I'll put Sector X below Growl. It's just mediocre at best. So how else are we going to do this? That might do for now. We'll come back and play some more of these later. I don't expect Violence Fight to be very high because I played the sequel Solitary Fight and it's really awful. So I'm not expecting much out of that. Liquid Kids, I would say, is okay. So we'll put Liquid Kids right above Camel Try, but I don't think either game is particularly amazing. But Liquid Kids is kind of fine for what it is. There's probably more to us. Haven't figured out how to do the whole ride the wave thing the game does. Fairyland Story might be good. I guess we'll tease that a bit later. Don Dokodon might be okay. It might be in the Kicks Puchi Carat zone. Gun Frontier looks lame. Better than Sector X, but not much. Metal Black feels like Gun Frontier in the same. It's from a side-scrolling view. Space Invaders is what it is. G Darius. It could either be the best game in this collection or a massive disappointment because I did play the remake. Same thing with Raystorm. Could be above average, but it could be the best game in this collection, or it could just be a mid shoot 'em up. A mid unfair shoot 'em up. Gekarinden, probably the same argument. So we'll see how that goes. So on a related note, like I said, Plantronics headset, and I got the component video output plugged into the SIIG HDMI converter plugged into my J5 Create 4K capture device, passed through the TV at 480i, capturing on the laptop at 720p, however, at 60 frames a second, which is as the goddess Lilith Valkyrie intended. We'll play more of this, don't worry.